Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. OhSheReads here, and happy first day of fall, or if you're feeling fancy, happy first day of autumn, darling. Welcome to the first day of fall, first day of autumn. It is officially that time, my favorite time of year. I freaking love fall or autumn, wherever you live in the world, or whatever you like to call it, it's fine with me. But yes, it is that time. This year it fell on a Monday, and I thought it would be the perfect time to do the, I think it's finally fall book tag and kick off the season right. I try to think of, unique choices for these prompts, or questions rather. And I try, sorry, the dogs are like chasing each other, it's fine. I try to think of books that I haven't talked about before on this channel. Every video I do, I try to think about showing off books that I haven't talked about before. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's easy. When you love a book, you love it, and it is what it is. But without further ado, we're gonna jump right into the video. But before we do, please take this moment to give this video a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and remember to hit the notifications bell so that you will always get a notification when I post a video, and you'll get to see my face and hear my words. And without further ado, let's get right into the tag. Question number 1. In fall, the air is crisp and clear. Name a book with a vivid setting. All right, so for this one, I chose An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, and actually the entire Ember in the Ashes series. I'm not really sure what the official name of this series is, but I just remember, especially this first book, which is, the book that unfolds everything and sets everything up. I remember how vividly I was able to be in this world and see everything and envision the school and the setting, and how it was an interesting mix of like historical, I don't even know how to describe this world, because it was a mixture of certain things. It felt dystopian, but it was also historical. It's hard to explain. For those that have read this book, you may have better words than I, but I just remember the setting was extremely vivid, and Sabaa Tahir did an amazing job, like rolling everything out for us, setting it all up, and making us feel like we were really there. For question number 2, or not question, but number 2, nature is beautiful but also dying. Name a book that is beautifully written but also deals with a heavy topic like loss or grief. For this one, I chose Little Bee by Chris Cleave. This is one of my favorite books of all time. I read it a few years back and it has stayed with me. And this book is so beautifully written and wonderfully laid out. Very surprising. When you go into it, unless you've read reviews, you really don't know too much, and that's the perfect way to go into it, because what you discover is so rich and intricate and sad, but beautiful at the same time. So this is what I chose for that one. Number 3, fall is back to school season. Share a nonfiction book that taught you something new. For this one, I chose Blink by Malcolm Gladwell. I know I talk about this book a lot, and I will always come back to this book because it really opened my eyes to the way that we make decisions, the way that our brains make these kind of snap assumptions and deductions about situations and things based on certain information that we're receiving, based on certain things that we've been brainwashed, for lack of a better word, to think by society because of media, imaging, branding, and how we can use all of those things to make better decisions. And it's not necessarily about how much information your brain is taking in to help you make a decision, but just focusing on key things. So this is a great book. Malcolm Gladwell is very intelligent, factual, and informative, and yet able to lay everything out in a very simplistic manner that's easy to read and not very hard to follow. To get my white balance back, that threw it all off. All right, so question number 4. In order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with the people we love. Name a fictional family / household / friend group that you'd like to be a part of. For this one, I have several options. For a friend group, I've always been fascinated by the friend group in the Fallen Crest High series by Tijan. So you guys have heard me talk about Tijan a ton on this channel. If you've been following me for any length of time, That series is epic, and it's kind of the series, Tijan basically started the whole dark high school romance slash high school drama type books. She is the originator, so if you have read, you know, The Boys of Bradshaw High, I think is what it's called, or any other books that are kind of a similar vein, it all started with Tijan, and honestly, she did it best. But that friend group is fascinating with the Cade brothers and then Samantha, and how she kind of becomes a trio with them, and they become best friends, even as she starts, you know, having a little thing with Mason Cade. And Logan Cade was always my favorite brother. I won't go into too much more detail for those that haven't read it. If you haven't, what are you waiting on? If you like bully romances, dark romances, edgier romances, really edgy, dark high school plots, you will love Tijan, and especially the Fallen Crest High series. Now, a family that I would love to have been a part of, fictional family, is Jack Ellison's family in Opposite of Always. Jack Ellison's parents are the GOAT. They are so funny, and they're actually, I think, cooler than Jack himself. His parents are definitely way cooler than him. And I just love the depiction of a Black family where there are two parents in the household, mother and father. They're very much in love, like disgustingly so to Jack, because, you know, they're his parents, right? And they're funny, they're witty, they're successful, and they're in these great like careers, and there's no dysfunction. Jack is well adjusted and grew up as a loving, you know, only child. Like, I really love this dynamic in fiction, and I hope to see more of it. Also, I always secretly wanted to be a March girl from Little Women. You guys know it wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't bring up Little Women at some point. But the March girls, the March family from Little Women, I would love to see this adapted with a more diverse cast. I think that would be really interesting. Now, people might have some feelings about that because this is historical and it is set in a very, ooh, are we back? That was weird. It is set in a very specific time period, and you know, the way things were back then, but it would be interesting to see it adapted in a more diverse way, or not adapted, a retelling. There we go. Give me a retelling. Somebody watching this, if you're a writer, give me a retelling with a diverse family, a different culture, something else. I want to see it. I would love to see it. Make my dreams come true. Number 5. The colorful leaves are piling on the ground. Show us a pile of fall-colored spines. I have several here, and I don't want to mess up my focus, but I have some. Let me see. I've got these spines. I'm just gonna. Got these spines right here for my children's book, part of my shelf. And I've also got these spines right here, very fall-y. Also, a little bit of my display, like Dear Haiti has a lot of fall colors and summery colors, but fallish, you know. That's as far as I'll go. All right, number 6. Fall is the perfect time for some storytelling by the fireside. Share a book wherein somebody is telling a story. The only book I could think of is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, and I don't know where my copy is, so I'm just gonna put a picture of The Book Thief right here. I'm gonna pick a pretty edition, but yes, death is telling the story in The Book Thief. Question number 7. The nights are getting darker. Share a dark, creepy read. So you guys know I don't do dark, well, I do dark, like dark romance, but I don't really do creepy. I found the creepiest book on my shelf though, so one second. And it's Gone Girl by Gillian or Gillian Flynn. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I want to say Gillian Flynn. So yeah, there we go. Number 8, the days are getting colder. Name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. And the book that immediately came to mind, and I don't have a copy of this, I actually listened to it on audiobook, is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. One of my favorite cute little short reads, and I also love the film with Claire Danes. And I can't remember the male protagonist, like the actor's name, but that's one of my favorite films. So fun, so kitschy, and just like quirky. I don't know, I really enjoyed it, and I love the book as well. I actually prefer the movie to the book. I know, it's one of those few times, but the book is delightful. Another book I had for this one, because the Throwback-a-thon is still going strong, and so I had to throw in another children's classic that I loved from when I was a kid. And this one is Pollyanna by Eleanor H. Porter. This is a book that I still have the original copy. This is my childhood copy. I remember reading and rereading Pollyanna over and over and over. It's just a sweet, pure, simple, lovely story with a great moral, a great lesson. I read it so many times as a kid, and I love the films as well. I think there's one film adaptation I saw and I really enjoyed it. Number 9, fall. Luckily, it's my favorite season. Returns every year. Name an old favorite that you'd like to return to soon. For this one, I chose one of my favorite romances, a historical, but also one of my favorite romance writers, and it is Lord of Scoundrels by Loretta Chase. This is one of my all-time favorite romance novels. Oh, I enjoy it so much. I've reread it so many times. I used to have it on Kindle. I may still, and then I decided to buy the hard copy, and I just love going back to this story over and over and over again. It is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and she does it so masterfully and beautifully. And I highly recommend Lord of Scoundrels, as well as Loretta Chase's books in general. Number 10, fall is the perfect time for cozy reading nights. Share your favorite cozy reading accessories. All right, so one of my favorite accessories in the fall, and especially for those cozy reading nights, are socks. And I want to show you guys one of the newest pair of socks, especially knee-high socks, that I recently just bought when I went to New York from the Strand bookstore about a month ago now. Yeah, or earlier this month. Was it earlier? It was earlier this month, Labor Day weekend. And these socks are my jam. F off, I'm reading. How freaking hysterical are these? They're not quite knee-high, but I'm obsessed. Also, would it be fall reading if you didn't have yourself a nice cuppa? I prefer tea. I don't have anything in this cup. I'm holding it up for the aesthetic of it all. But my favorite tea is chai tea, especially the Indian spice or the extra spice. And I also enjoy just the regular English breakfast tea with, you know, a splash of soy milk or non-dairy creamer in it and tons of Splenda. I know it's terrible for you, but I love it. And then to top it all off, for the accessories, I like to have a nice little candle burning. And this is my newest candle. I actually got it in my, I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't think you can. In my Kingdom of Souls press box that I got. But yes, this is a book lover soy candle, and it's the smell of old books. It's supposed to be aged paper, dust, and vanilla. So I will definitely be burning this one on some cozy fall nights coming up. My socks on and my cup of tea. Probably reading Lord of Scoundrels. Number 11, spread the autumn appreciation and tag some people. So everyone I tag will be listed down below as well as on the screen right now. I can't think of anyone off my head. Automatically, I'm going to probably tag Troy from A Bookish Wallflower, I think is the name of her channel, and Brittany from Melon and Eclectic, so you guys know I'm gonna tag my girls. But everyone else I choose to tag will be listed below or listed on the screen. I haven't decided yet. Editing is still far from me. But yes, that is it for this video. Thanks for joining me on this It's Finally Fall tag. It's finally fall tag. I need like, let me play a fall song. One of my favorite songs for fall. The original song, I'm playing a cover.
With my toes and